Sometimes a vendor may show a really long list of integrations. So you'll see lots of logos in a slide or in a list, 100 or more sometimes. And the implication is that that's more value, right? The more you have, the better you're going to get. And I'd really push back on that concept because what matters is not how many integrations you have, but how deep they go. Whether those integrations actually carry that metadata when that content moves, whether it works in both directions, whether they hold up when that tool updates or a team scales. And these things happen all the time. So the difference between an integration that checks the box and is on the list versus an integration that actually changes how your team works. So if we look at the left-hand side here, this is what most organizations are still running on. And I want to be clear, it's not wrong. When these decisions were made, this all made sense. So they were one-way integrations for the most part. Typically, heavy IT involvement was needed, and they were isolated systems. That was what was available at the time. It got the job done, but it was slower, and this worked when we were in a more stable, slower world. But look at what it actually creates day to day. Somebody has to manually intervene every time that content needs to move. Your IT team needs to be involved in every connection and every update. And we all know that some third-party tools update much more often than others. So it's a lot of involvement from IT. The content is sitting in those silos because these systems don't talk to each other very well. And nothing is really synchronized. You're operating with some degree of version risk all the time. If we look at the right side, I'd like you to think back to those frustration points that we talked about in the poll at the beginning of the session. So we've got bi-directional integrations. That means that when a designer updates an asset in Adobe, it doesn't save locally, it syncs back to the DAM automatically. The same source of truth, the DAM, stays the source of truth. You've got no code and low code frameworks. That means that your marketing team can configure a workflow without filing a ticket with IT. And that's no small thing. That's really the difference between a team that moves at the speed of the campaign versus a team that's moving at the speed of the IT queue of your organization. Single source of truth. It isn't about just knowing where the file lives. It's about knowing that the file you're looking at is current, approved, and governed. Whether you're finding it in the DAM or in a project management tool or in Adobe or in your CMS, across the board. You've got complete control and visibility, meaning you're not flying blind. You know where the content has gone, you know who's used it, and you know whether it's still compliant. And then finally, active distribution. And that means content doesn't wait to be retrieved. It moves when it should. It goes where it needs to go. Automatically, less manual intervention across the board. So that's the shift from a system of record to a system of action. Not just integrations, but better ones.